Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs no matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the Isupk like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the Isupk. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
Hey, oh. Yeah. Hey. Fuck wrong with you, boy? You know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my niggas. Yeah. I'm in you. Got my nigga Rawan with me. But that was my niggas. It'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding General Yohana. That for my niggas. It'll be an honor and a blessing. Look. Hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin' my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, thank you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talk the shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we Isupk Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, the shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. what them bitches gotta say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love about what them niggas gotta say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's the Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad at this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, go through the baddest conditions. I don't fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like Vladimir, nigga. She know I'm a prophet, she glad to be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit. Tell her go make some business from scratch. She bitching the different breed of black men. We don't do the bad thing. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight. Like, don't forget about my face. We sticking up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Go to some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we sold you. You can take that to the bank, we focus on. How many times must we remind you? Body wanna win some rank. I would never take up as a face. When the law with you ain't no up next. It's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world. I responded and called back. Oh Lord. And everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit. We want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, your honor, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better have the women, have the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't but the same. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in there with me. We in the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Fucking Hispanic, Native American, Indian, we ain't just talking shit. But we living in it, we be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be precious hell, take a picture. And we professional with the scriptures. Play, we gon' script, yeah, we some killers. These niggas tripping, they mind blown. Swear business, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't get it pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on. The slide that I know about is when I send with the gun with the slide on. Real, I get the order, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die. Kill. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet about me cause I'm fed up. I rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got nines, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like, bitch, or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like. My nigga like them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, your honor, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all don't fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. Understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey. That's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. Oh.
I got you. Let it rap real quick. Look. The city eyes. It's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga. Cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard when they tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls till you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times two. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. You colder than the avalanche, way above average. Beers taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Shall become a man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Quad, telling me how the crackers turn this child into a ghost town. Focus out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, so tangible. Try to warn them niggas we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen profits under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian. Precious cargo, spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Hardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yaradon, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember, I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
Hey, Shalom Yao Bashim Yao Shah Barakatah to the brothers. Shalom Yao Shamal Lathamba Hashim Yao Shah to the sisters. This is Isupk Louisiana Friday night Lashawan Qadash class. I'm Precinct Officer 50 Rawam Yala. Tonight we're gonna be getting into priestly ornaments and tools that's used inside of each and every school. You understand? Of course, first we're gonna go over the paleo characters. So we're gonna dive right into that. Salakia, bear with me. Let me share my screen for a second. All right, as you can see on the screen, this is the original Isupk character, the Israelite School of UPK characters. You understand? Salaki, and it is not, characters that we put together. This is the real ancient Hebrew. You understand? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over the ancient Hebrew from right to left. Okay. Because as you know, in the Hebrew, it's from right to left. In the English, it's from left to right. In Spanish, it's left to right. You know what I'm saying? But in the paleo, in the Hebrew, you understand, everything goes from right to left. All right. So as you can see, your first character is I. I'm gonna write it out with you. So you should have a pen and paper. Select. All right, Salaki. We should have a pen and paper. You understand? And we're gonna go over each and every character in the Paleo and also in the Assyrian. Okay. So, like I said, first we have I. All right. And that's this character right here. Our next character is Ba. Bear with me. I'm not that good on the computer writing out these characters, so it's gonna look a little kindergartenish. So we have Ba. All right. All right, next character is Ga. Okay. Okay. And remember, we're starting right here where this cursor is, okay? Our next character is Da. All right. Our next character is Ha. All right. So right up under it, okay? Let me see. I'm gonna write it in the Assyrian as well. Now this might look real messed up because I'm terrible at writing in Assyrian altogether. So let alone with the laptop, okay, or with a mouse. All right, so that's I in the red. This is Assyrian. We have Assyrian in the red. We have Paleo Hebrew in the black. Okay, so that's I. Then we have Ba. Okay. Then we have Ga. All right. We have Da. And we have Ha. Just like that. Okay, so if you have a clear picture of what I want you to do is write this down in your notes. You understand? So you can always go back and use this as a reference. All right. I'm going to get this off. We're going to go over the next 5 characters. So we stopped at Ha. We're going to start with Wa. All right. Okay. Have Wa. I'm going to just go ahead and write them in the Assyrian as I write it. Okay. So we have Wa. Remember, the Paleo is black. The Assyrian is red. Okay. Our next character is Za. All right. So far we went over. Let me get this off of there. So far we went over A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, and Za. Our next character is Ka. Ha. Okay. It's written just like that. Okay. Remember that's ha. Ha. Okay. All right. So what I want to point out, in the Syrian, right? We just went over a character that looks identical to the character that's written for Ha in Assyrian. Okay. And that character is Ha, and it is written like this. You understand? So it's important to know the difference between the two when you're identifying every character in the Assyrian. Because if you don't, you can easily get confused. Okay. So I'm going to leave that up. Remember, this is Ha, not Ha. Okay. Our next character is Ta. All right. I'm going to be writing it in the Syrian as well. Okay. Ta. All right. Our next character, right, is Ya. Okay. Yeah, let me write that one a little bit better. All right. Our next character, okay, is Ka. Okay. Now, Ka and Ha is pronounced differently. So it's important to understand the different pronunciations as well, or to listen for it if somebody is pronouncing. Like, for instance, Kazakh. You know that would be Chazak. You understand? Or Katab, right? Katab is Katab, not Khatab, all right? So, the that would be prominent as far as listening for the pronunciation or identifying it when it's being written, right? Because Ka in the Assyrian has two characters that identifies it, right? All right, gonna get this one. That's Ka. So that first character will be found in the beginning or the middle of a word, right? And this last character, right, will only be found at the end of a word. Okay. At the end of a word. All right. So far we have ba, ga, da, ha, right? And with this section, we started out with wa, za, ha, ta, ya, and ka. Okay. Ka. Not ka, but ka. All right. Get this out for you. Now we're going to be starting with La. All right. And also in the Assyrian. All right. Next character is Ma. All right. So in the Assyrian for Ma, right, it's the same as Ka. Okay. There's two characters that identifies it. All right. And that first character will be found in the beginning or the middle of a word. Right. And as far as this last character, it would only be found at the end of a word. Okay. So we got La and Ma. All right. Our next character is Na. Okay. And Salaki, if this looked like scribble scrabble to you, I apologize. I'm not as good with a mouse as I am with a dry erase marker. Okay. So for Na, right, there's two characters also that identifies it. Okay. Same rules apply. Now remember, I'm gonna write it for you in with the Ka, right? I'll do it kind of down here. So with Ka, it kind of looks identical to the Na, right? Here's the difference. I'm gonna write it for you right up under it so you can see in blue. Right? That's the difference. As you can see, the Na is much shorter than this first character for Ka, right? From here to here. Na is much shorter than Ka, right? As far as the Na as the second character, which will be found at the end of a word, right, is much shorter for the second character for Ka as well. That's the difference. That's the only difference. So you gotta know that in order to identify each character. Salaki. All right. Well, Salaki, I'm gonna leave that up for you. Okay. All right, our next character, right, is Sa. Sa. Okay. All right. And for Sa. Now, Sa is a little confusing too when you only looking at it in the Assyrian, right? It kind of looks like this Ma right here. But the difference between the two is Sa is much rounder, right? As far as the Ma is much square. You understand? Like I say, these are the distinctive, differences on the characters that you must know if you're looking up a word in the Assyrian. You understand? Any word that you're looking up that you probably want to know the meaning of or know that word in Hebrew itself, you're more than likely going to find it in the Assyrian. You understand? Before you find it in Paleo. You understand? So that's why Assyrian is important. I personally don't like Assyrian, don't care for it. You understand? I love the Paleo. I love how simplified it is. Easy it is to read. Easy it is to recite or, identify each character. The Assyrian, not so much, but it is prominent to understand and to know because, Like I say, you're going to more than likely find that word in the Syrian before you find it in Paleo. All right. So our next character would be I, right? Excuse me if that's not a full looking circle or egg shape, right? But it's simply I. There's no A that follows behind it. And that's how you are able to identify goofy Hebrew names and words that different camps or different schools, whatever you may want to call them, that we're unaffiliated with, may come up with. That's how you are able to identify somebody who ain't in this school. You're going to find a lot of vowels in the Hebrew that don't belong. All right. But I is what would be called the English vowel that is in the Hebrew, right? But the English derived from the Hebrew. So this is the Aboriginal. The English is simply Yiddish or gibberish, right? It's not a real language, you understand, that has its own basis or its own original form, right? It's to whereas the ancient Hebrew or the Paleo is the, the start of language, period. You know what I'm saying? So to write it in Assyrian, Slakia, it would look like this. Boom, boom, boom. All right, that's pretty ugly, but if you can see it right here, you know what I'm saying? That's how it looks. Okay. Our next character is Pa. Okay. And there's two characters that identify as Pa as well, just like Ka, Ma, Na. All right. So I'm going to write them both for you. All right. And to me, that looks like an upside down G. All right. That's my easiest way to identify it in the Assyrian. Right. And as far as to the character that will be found at the end of the word, right? Looks like the hangman, and you got out a few times. You got a few letters wrong, right? Look like it's about to make a hangman. You understand? If you ever played hangman as a child, it's kind of like what I use to remember seeing the character in the Assyrian. If I see Pa, I see this bottom one right here. I know that that's the Pa at the end of a word. All right. Let me get this off for you. All right. Got a few more. We got Slocky. Tazah. We got Tazah, right? And just like Ka, Ma, Na, Sa, and Pa, Tazah has two characters that represents it as well. All right. Okay. That's the first character. Okay. Kind of looks like the character for I, right? But here's the difference. I'm gonna write this for you so you can see it side by side. Here's the difference. I is like this. Okay. Not much of a difference. So it's important to remember it or important to identify it. Okay. This is I. Let me write it. This is Tazah, right? And the second character that you will find at the end of a word for Tazah is like this. Okay. All right. Let me get I from off of there. All right. The next character. Okay. All right. It's Qua. Qua. Okay. It's only one character in the Assyrian that represents or identifies as Qua. All right. And it's written like that. Kind of looks like a P to me. That doesn't fully connect. All right. Next character is Ra. All right. Just like that. Next character is Shah. And Shah actually looks like the paleo to me. Just more I would say old Quakerish. You know what I'm saying? But the Shah looks like a W as it would look in the paleo to me. You understand? All right. Next character. It's the last character, okay? It's Tha. Slaki. All right, just like that. And you will write it in the Assyrian. Just like that. All right. So just so you know, for future references, there are only 22 characters in the Paleo, and there's 27 characters, Slaki, in the Assyrian. All right. Let me get this off. So we're going to be going over. And I got to Slaki. I do have to keep this class under an hour. So we only going to have time to go over what I wanted to go over. Slaki, put it over here. I'm hoping you guys can see that. If not, we're going to be going over it anyway. Okay. So our first priestly ornament, I didn't want you to see all of them or whatnot, but we're going to just go over them and break them down anyway. That's what we're going to do. All right. Didn't want to do that. All right, so our first one would be a book or scroll, right? So for a book, right, like you will see here, right? It's Sapar or a scroll, right? Like you will see here. Okay. If everybody can see that. Okay. It's the same. Excuse me, I didn't mean for my alarm to be going off. All right, so those are the same, right? A book or a scroll is pretty much the same, right? And the word for that is sapar. Okay. All right. And as you can see, it broke down, okay, in the paleo, right? Your Sa is your first character, all right? As you can see identified here, let me use the blue, all right? So you will write Sa. All right. And our next character, all right, would be Pa. Okay. So you see Pa, you will write Pa. Select it. All right. And then you see this R kind of lingering out, right? So you know that represents the character Ra, right? But you don't see the A at the end. That tells you one thing and one thing only, that the Pa and the Ra is connected. So you're going to write your Ra here. And you're going to write a connector. That's called a connector. This is called a disconnector, okay? Okay. So our next word, right, would be a candlestick or a menorah. These are, like I say, these are things that are commonly found in the school, right? These are priestly ornaments and tools, right? So this will be commonly found in the school. Okay. A menorah. All right. It's called manarah in the Hebrew. Trying to write as big as possible. And this is an N. Like it for that. All right. So, like I say, breaking it down, you would do it the simplest way you can possibly can. Right. You will see your Ma. You know that the Ma is your first character. All right. Okay. Just like that. You see your Na. Right. You know that Na is your second character. And also, you see the na is also written all the way out. You got your NA, which is na. You got your MA, which is ma. That lets you know that both of these characters are disconnected from each other, okay? So you're going to write your na here, okay? And you can go ahead, Salaki, you don't want to do the na until you know what the next character is. So you can go ahead and put the disconnector on the ma for now, all right? So our next character, right, that we see in this word would be ra. Since you can identify the ra, that goes to show and let you know that you can put the disconnector on the na as well, right? So you're going to write your ra here, okay? And then you see this H lingering on. The only character in the Paleo and Assyrian that begins with H is Ha, okay? So you don't see the A for Ha, but you know that that H is there, so Ha is present, right? That lets you know that this is together as far as pronunciation is concerned, right? So you want to write your Ha, but you also want to put the connector between the Ra and the Ha, because that indicates that Ra and Ha is connected as far as pronunciation, okay? Ma, na, ra. It's kind of almost like a silent, right? Like knife in the English, right? The K is not, it's not knife, it's knife. So that H is just as silent as that K for knife. Okay. Our next one, right, is a ram's horn or trumpet. Same as you will see that's holding in my hand, that I'm holding in my hand. Okay. It's a ram's horn or a trumpet, right? Okay. That is called shapar. Okay. Shapar. Not sapar, but shapar. Okay. All right. So how we would identify or, break this down into the paleo, right? We're going to go over these characters that's in the word, right? And we see sha, all right? That's our first character that we can identify. We know that that is written just like this. And again, we start from right to left, not left from right, okay? So we got the sha, right? We see that pa right here. Okay, before we can write the pa, we know that the sha is disconnected, all right? So we can go ahead and put this pa here. Okay. And then we see the R. You know that Ra is in there, but that lets us know that the Pa and the Ra is connected to each other for par. Okay. So we're going to write the Ra. That's ugly, but it'll do. And we're going to write that connector in between the two. All right. Just like that. All right, I'm going to get this off the board. I'm going to leave the connector and the disconnect up there for reference. Okay. All right. So now we at a sensor, right? A sensor. I do have one in the school, but I'm gonna say this, right? It's the same thing. It's a sensor. You understand? But the one that's in the picture, we have one that looks identical to that as well. All right. It's just simply a tool that is used to burn incense, right? Or incense. Okay. All right. So like, I don't know why I wrote it like that. We know it's a sensor. I'm gonna write it in the paleo. I mean, in the paleo. So like in the Hebrew, it is all right, just like that. It is makata, makata, not kata, but chata, makata. All right, and we will use the same method to identify each character, to write it or translate it into the Hebrew in the paleo, right? Got our ma. Okay. We see ka. Okay. So we can put our disconnector for ma, right? All right, ka. Just like that. So we got ma, ka. We see ta, salaki. Didn't try to make it that wide, but we know that ka is disconnected as well, right? So we're gonna write ta. Okay, and we see that H there. So we know that that is pronounced with the ta. Okay, so we're gonna write the ha here. And we know that that is connected to each other. Ma, ha, tha. Okay. The incense, right, that is put into the censer, right? The incense that is put into the censer is called quitar. Quitar. It's qua. Tar. And again, same method. We see the qua. Okay. So we know to put that there. So like, let me slow down. The qua, right? We see ta. Okay. We know to write the ta. All right. And we see the R. We know that Ra is there. But since it's not fully written out, right, we know that connect the Ra and the Qua. I mean, Ra and Ta, Salakia, and the Qua is not connected. Okay, it's a disconnection. All right. So the code used, all right? Code used is called Gakalath. Gakalath. So we write Ga. Just like that. Gakalath. Same method. We see the Ga. All right. I'm going to write that. Okay. We see Kha. Kha. Okay. We're going to write that. All right. We're going to write that disconnection with the Ga. All right. We see La. So we're going to write that. All right. The disconnection between the Kha as well, because we know we see the La is not connected to the La. All right. La. Then we see the TH. Okay. We don't see that A, right? So the only character that begins with TH is Tha. Not Ta, but Tha. Because Ta begins with just T. Okay. Not the TH. So we're going to write the Tha here. Salakia. And we know that both of those are connected. All right. So we're going to put that connector between the two. Okay. I think I got room for one more. All right. And this is the anointing oil. All right. So the anointing oil, right? The, right, will be ha. That's the preposition for ha, right? All right. Anointing, right, will be, I want to say shaman. No, mashaka. Mashaka is anointing. And then the oil is shaman. I got that backwards. The anointing is shaman, and mashaka is oil. Mashaka is oil. Okay. So we're going to break that down. The way that it is written here, shaman ha mashaka. All right. So we got Shah. Gonna use that same method. Okay. Gonna write Shah here. Okay. We see Ma. Right. So that let us know that the Shah is disconnected. We're gonna write the Ma here. All right. And then we see Na. That lets us know that the Ma and the Na is connected. So when we write this Na, we're gonna put a connector between the Ma and the Na. Then we have Ha Mashaka. All right, that's together. All right, so when you see that indentation in between the two, that lets you know to write these together. You do not put a separation in between the two. Ha Mashaka is one word. Okay. And that is the way, Salakia. I did get it wrong, and I apologize. My Shekinah is anointing because it is the anointing, right? So Ha my Shekinah is the anointing. Mashak is anointing, right? So my Shekinah is anointing, making it I don't want to say plural, but it's like an action. Okay, it's an action. You're anointing. All right. So Ha Mashakah is the anointing. All right, because Mashayak is anointed. All right. So we're gonna write Ha Mashakah. We see the Ha, right? So we're gonna write the Ha here. Okay, we see Ma. So we're gonna write Ma. That's like it. Okay. So that let us know that the Ha is not connected. All right. So we see Sha. All right. So when we write the Sha, we're gonna write that disconnection with the Ma as well because it's not connected. Salakia. To the Sha, we see Ha all the way out, right? So we're gonna write that disconnection with the Sha as well because it's not connected to the Ka. All right. And then we see that lingering H. We know that Ha is there and it is connected to the Ka. Just like that. And you write that connector. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we got a few more. I'm gonna go over these. Bear with me. All right, a bottle, right? I'm gonna use this as an example. In Salaki, this is the anointing oil, right? Which is Shaman Ha Mashaka. Okay. But I'm also use this as an example as a bottle because I don't have that bottle that we will use to pour the wine, right? But it will be something that's similar like this, as you can see on the picture, right? So a bottle or a picture, right, is Nabal. Let me try to run through these so we see the Na for time's sake. We see the Ba, right? So we're gonna put our disconnector with the Na. So like I don't know why I keep doing that. But gonna put our disconnector with the Na, right? We're gonna write Ba, and we see that La there. So we know that Ba and La is connected. So when we write the La here, we're gonna write that connector that connects the two. Wine. Wine is what we use to La Yasha'Allah, which means to Israel. We drink the wine in representation of the blood of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, you understand? Or to mimic. Salakia. The mimic is okay, Khan. To mimic drinking the blood of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, right? So that's called Yayan, which is wine. Okay. So that is written like this. First, you would identify the characters. You see Yah. You see Yah again. So we're going to write Yah. It's like Yah. And we're going to write Yah again. Okay. We know that first Yah is not connected to the second one, right? Then we see that Na. We know that Na is in there. All right. We see the N, right? And that lets us know that the Yah and Na is connected to each other. Okay. Now, wine and alcohol, right? Which would be, it's like, I don't want to get the, what's we call them, with this border would be strong drink. Okay. So your yun is wine, or strong drink is shakar. Shakar, okay? So we're going to write shakar here. All right. Quickly break this down as well. We see the sha. So we're going to write sha, of course. We see the ka here. So we're going to write ka, of course. We know that the sha is not connected. And then we see ra. So we see the r, right? So we know that ra is in here, right? But since it's not written all the way out, we know that it is connected to car. Shakar. Okay. A cup. I just use this for an example, right? A cup or a goblet, right? A goblet would be like something similar to a wine glass, right? But it's for a priest. It's for a man of royalty, a goblet. You understand? It's called a gar. Salaki, a gun. A gun. Okay. All right. So I'm going to quickly go through this as well. We see I here. So, boom, we're going to write I. You get what I'm saying? We see Ga. Going to write the Ga there. We know that I is disconnected. And we see the N right there for Na. But we don't see the Na written all the way out. We know that Ga and Na is connected. So, we're going to write that connector between the two. So, yeah. All right. And that would be that. All right. I wanted to go over a couple of scriptures, but unfortunately we did not have time. I had to keep this video under an hour in order to share it. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna say Shalom Yahweh Shamar Latamba Hashem Yahweh Shah. Salaki Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah to the brothers. You understand? Shalom Yahweh Shamar Latamba Hashem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. Okay. And with that, that will conclude the class. Until next week, make sure you pay your tithes. We have that QR code at the top right of the screen. Make sure that you are at the Passover, April 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. You understand? And with that, Shalom, Israel.
The Lord's 56th annual Passover is coming up April 12th, 2025. We'll be in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a $200 fee. Make sure you pay the fee on isupk.com. You understand? It gives you access to all the events we got during the week from Monday to Sunday. We got the lamb slaughter. We got a children party for your badass kids. We got the black party. You understand? We got the Passover. We got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Make sure you pay your $200 Passover fee. And don't make it seem like y'all are too broke for it, because I know y'all got the money. You know how I know? Because y'all had no issue spending $2 on shoes, $2 on hose, $2 on weed. Might as well go spend $2 for a week long full of events and enjoy the brotherhood like you have never experienced it before. Shalom.